In the studios with us right now, we have Melissa D'Ellena. She's a title and closing attorney. She focuses strictly on real estate, and she is our number one go-to gal for title and closings for my team and for many others alike around the state. And she's a partner in D'Ellena Law Offices. And Melissa, thank you so much for being a huge part of this show.
Thank you, Emilio. It's great to be back.
Hey, you're welcome. And what are we talking about today? We're talking about
title insurance. Title insurance is something that a lot of buyers have questions about, especially under the new TRID regulations. So title insurance is a formal insurance policy. It's issued by a title attorney, and it's for the benefit of the new buyer and the new buyer's lender. So the goal of the title insurance is to protect both the new buyer and the new buyer's lender from any types of title defects that may have existed prior to the ownership transfer date.
like what? What are some of those defects?
Many of the defects that we look to are things that could not be discovered through title, such as forgery, fraud, things that due diligence just won't uncover.
Things like that never happen in Rhode Island.
Certainly. We hope they don't, but experience has taught us otherwise.
Yeah.
So oftentimes buyers will ask, well, why do I need a title search? A title insurance policy
when
I've
already for the title search too.
Right. I've already paid you to do the title search. Why should I buy a title insurance policy? So, as I mentioned a minute ago, the primary reason that we have to do the title insurance above the title search is because the types of fraud and forgeries that exist out there are going to be things that cannot be uncovered through traditional due diligence of a title search. Title search only reveals the documents that appear on the title records, and if there's no title records reflecting the forgery, which any good forger wouldn't have, we won't yet know that information.
That makes a lot of sense. What other areas does title insurance cover? I know it covers some pretty unusual ones, right?
It does. Yep. It can cover things as basic as typographical errors or mistake, and then it can be things that are much more substantial. Certainly with the type of inventory that we have in today's market, primarily bank-owned transactions or REO transactions, properties that have been previously foreclosed on, really highlights the importance of title insurance because oftentimes there are potential defects with those foreclosure deeds that are not discovered on the first line of defense by the first closing attorney. It may only be discovered at some time later, or there may have been some sort of legislative change that's now made that invalid. So that's another major reason to have title insurance.
That's a great point. Now, I've heard, I've sat in a lot of closings where the title attorney, where you're going to be asking, do you know of any rivers, lakes, streams, Indian burial grounds?
Yes.
Now, let me ask you something. With title insurance, let's say your house was built on a Native American burial ground. What would happen? What would be?
Well, it's a tough example to use because there are certain treaties and protections, so title insurance may not be the best example for that, but I do have an example right now where a client of mine was trying to sell her condo. It is a previously 3-family, and that 3-family was converted to condos. When she tried to sell her condo, it was discovered that before the building became a condo, it had been foreclosed on, and that foreclosure was invalid, which now means the condo is not valid. The condo cannot be conveyed as a condo. So what's going to happen now is that the title company is responsible for pursuing litigation to clear the title at their cost and at no cost to the seller. Now, of course, it's not ideal. The seller is still sidelined and frustrated, I'm sure. As a client that we talk to regularly, she's not happy about it, but the reality is at least she's not out of pocket for the cost to cure the problem, and that's the major advantage of title insurance.
And that could be thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars.
Absolutely. I
don't care how much money you have. You never want to throw away money at something that shouldn't be like that anyways.
Of course.
So now title insurance, what's I'm sure the cost varies obviously on the size of the home, but now our median home in Rhode Island is about $230,000. What would a title insurance premium be that would cover you for the life of that loan, life of your mortgage, life of your home ownership?
Great. It's a great question, and one that we get often. So the policy premium has to be issued for the buyer's lender. Then there's what's known as a simultaneous issuance, which is a discounted policy for the owner's policy. And that would just be a matter of a few hundred extra dollars for an average $200,000 sales price to have the one-time owner's policy in place for as long as they own the property. Obviously, very, very money well spent.
Absolutely. I mean, people spend up to $1,000 on home inspections. I think you should protect yourself there, obviously, as well. I myself just closed on my first home.
Oh, congratulations.
Yeah, thank you so much. And I did title insurance as well.
Absolutely.
And I mean, it was a no-brainer for me. It's just, you want to be covered when it comes down to those things. Great.
It's like any insurance. You hope that you never need it.
Yeah.
But if you do need it, you absolutely want to have that coverage in place.